Okay.
Previously on Unranked.
So we have a new segment this week, as we do.
Yep, we're in the
Year
same
4
clothes.
construction.
We're in the same hat. The same
So one of the new segments that
hoodie.
we want to do are a series of head-to-head challenges. Now, there's a soft launch, as Alex said. Alex this week
Soft
was like,
launch,
let's just do it.
baby.
Let's just do it this week. Oh wow,
Literally
you really
this-
didn't look.
I did not look. I did not look.
It's good.
You didn't
If we
look
ever
at
need to
all.
reshoot a scene with you, Tuna, you're always in the same outfit.
Yeah.
Wait, are you just gonna
Just
stay
smash
and spam this thing the whole
Oh,
time?
I got confused as to who was
yeah.
live and who was
This
recording.
This is me playing Taskmaster, finding a way to.
Yeah, no, Tom. This is
And
totally
Tom did
good.
so good during
It's
this
good,
one.
man.
Holy, you doubled me.
I got 9.
I got 6.
Oh man, nice job, Tom.
9 is good. 9 is good, but
17 and 6.
Oh my god.
17 and 6. Damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
What did you
So
guys
16
get?
and 5, we tied.
Oh,
what?
fuck. You look younger than
Tom
him.
and Alex by like a second or two.
Oh my god, Tom.
I'm 10 seconds behind you guys. What's funny is when you watch this too, you see my Alex face takes slowly shrink. Alex Like my takes face looks way
Oh,
chubbier.
yeah.
It does.
Versus
It
Tom.
does.
Right.
Yeah,
There we
it's
go.
kind of wild.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! What?
Tuna, this was
That's
one
madness.
of the most amazing performances.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's absolute
Oh, yeah.
fucking
Dude.
madness. 700.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going
Oh,
on
I
right
see.
now.
Holy Oh my god.
God damn it.
I liked this one. I'm surprised.
264.
I
God
almost
damn
revisited
it.
this one. Probably next season.
Yeah, I've thought about it for.
That Donkey Kong competition, Tuna. You.
Oh, I didn't do this
Oof.
played thing at all.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Next week on Unranked, our holiday special. We're gonna reveal our Game of the Year list,
Look at the
and then
two.
we're gonna go into
Gray on
the
gray.
challenge finale.
Look
The
at
boys
gray
were
on
gonna send each
gray.
other another set of challenges. So we're gonna have 6 challenges that we're showing up with next week.
Oh my god.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah.
Hello and
looking back
welcome
on- God.
to the Unranked Podcast. It's 361st episode. I am Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna
Four.
Marinello.
Yeah.
300 what?
It's 461.
Sorry, 461st episode
Oh,
of the
boy.
podcast.
Are you
With Alex
recording?
and Tom. Yeah, we're recording. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you recording?
What were you gonna say there, Tuna? Looking back at it.
There's a lot of things that I have to say about the challenges now that I've had a week and a half to stew on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get to him. We'll get
We'll
to
get
him.
into
Don't
it.
don't
We'll get
don't
into
give
it.
away anything here, by the way.
No, I'm
we're
not
about
giving anything
stewing
away.
on
I'm not giving
challenges.
anything away. All right, but
Before we get into them,
I stewed for a week and a half, and I have some thoughts. I have excuses. I have some excuses, but I also have some thoughts.
Beep beep
before,
beep beep beep.
Yeah.
before we
yeah.
get into that real quick, we have to. I made sure that like if people wanted to tune in,
Yeah.
to like tune in live for this episode. Like this is one to be here live. So we have a couple of people in chat live. The
Oh,
first-
okay. Great.
First, Wolf's Law, aka Mr. Wolf's
Oh,
Law on
oh.
YouTube. Happy, he says, "Happy,
Happy
New
New
Year,
Year.
gents."
Happy
And,
New Year,
uh,
2025. Chick, can you believe it?
And the next commenter, or actually this was the first comment, Karthik Narasimham. Hi,
Whoa.
it's K-Man. I just subbed as a Spartan.
What
So
the
thank
fuck?
you, K-Man.
Hell yeah.
Karthik, I won't reveal anything. Karthik, new job, new
Okay.
area, new
All right.
New year, new
doing
you.
things.
You know.
I'll have
Yeah,
to check
new
the
year, new
LinkedIn.
Karthik.
I'll check it out, see what it
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, you guys check
Yeah,
out
but
Karthik's
go
new LinkedIn
check out
posts.
Karthik's LinkedIn.
Well, that's I'm curious to see what Karthik thinks of the challenges because we have quite a few challenges. I
Oh,
also
God.
have another list I'm going to go over today that you guys don't know about. So I think
What
K-Man
list?
will have some thoughts on that.
What list?
You'll see. I have a surprise list.
Ah,
I have a surprise list. I put together something, so we'll get to it. Let's just hop into the Pokemon then, so let's get right to it. Let's
Yeah,
let's
there's
talk
a lot
about
to do.
the 461st Pokemon, Weavile.
Weavile.
Weavile. So this is an evolution of a previous Pokemon from the second generation. So we skipped third gen, it didn't get one in the second gen, but now in the fourth generation, they were like, hey, people like Sneasel. They're saying, where's its evolution? But we got you at Weavile. So this Pokemon, I'm just going to describe what it looks like, Tuna, before we get into its name etymology. It's a bipedal Pokemon. It's got a pale gray body that resembles both a cat and a weasel. It's got a bright red crown and collar made of wide feathers and a single thinner feather on each ear. It's interesting because I've never thought of this Pokemon as a cat or cat-like. But
No.
yeah.
I had.
Did you really?
Yeah. Because it's like it looks Egyptian. It's got the claws.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. It does.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together. In fact, the shiny makes that even more obvious.
Yeah.
You know, and now looking back at Sneasel's looking a lot like a cat.
Yeah, you're right. Never saw
what
it.
you guys are doing.
All right, well, tell me about the name if you know so much.
What you guys are doing.
So Weavile may be a combination of weasel, weave, evil, and vile.
Oh,
so it could be.
It could be Weavile.
It could be Weavile.
I don't know why it isn't.
But that's like, biopic and biopic. Like everyone says biopic, but it should be biopic. But you
Everyone
also don't say
biopic. I feel like everyone says biopic.
Oh, I only hear people say biopic, Tom. I never hear anyone say biopic. And it should be biopic. But here's the thing, Tom. Here's the thing. How do you say what is bionic? You don't say bionic.
Yeah, but
it's also
bionic is its own word.
Yeah.
Biopic is two words.
There's biography and biography.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Biography.
People call it, I don't know, because when I first heard people say biopic, and I'm gonna level with you. Christian was the person who I first heard it from, because
I've never said biopic. I always say biopic. If anything, I brought it up to say I hate when people say biopic. You go find it.
Go play the tapes. I wish you had the Pico Park.
But also, Tom is wrong. Bionic is not its own individual thing. The etymology of bionic comes from electronic nick. So that's where that comes from. So it should be bionic.
Suck it, Tom.
That's where the nick in bionic comes from. It comes from electronic. Bio as in human and electronic.
Suck it, Thomas.
Yes, Tom, just look up the etymology of the word.
Bio as in biology.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
There we go.
I want you to edit in the Pico Park video because
make it a last minute challenge.
Last minute challenge. Who not get hit, Tom loses.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I mean, if you want to talk about Pico Park, we should finish discussing this Pokemon quickly so that we can just get into it.
Oh, right. You have to do the
yeah, I'll give you a Pokemon fact.
Yep.
Shiny. I don't like the pink, but I do like the gold. It does make the Egyptian make more sense. I think they should have done black and gold. I'm just pointing it out. We usually do discuss it. As I'm scrolling up, I'm seeing it. Black and gold would have been cool. Black and gold.
Yeah. I tend to think the shinies are lacking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They travel in groups of 4 or 5, leaving signs for one another on trees and rocks. They bring down their prey with coordinated attacks. They kind of make them sound like they're raptors.
Mm.
You're looking at her? She's looking right back at you. And that's when they attack. Not from the front, but from the side.
I was scrolling.
Good reference.
And the under other appearances, it has a picture. No, I know, from Jurassic Park. There's a picture of Weavile from Pokémon Tournament, and this art looks great. We need to start having the Pokemon look like this.
Yeah, Pokémon Tournament's got style.
It's got like fur, like I see the different textures and everything. That's cool.
Pokemon can look a lot better when they only have to design 20 of them instead of 400 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they're able to put a lot more detail into
so
them.
Bad. The shiny on this is not great.
Where's this guy going?
I like him.
Oh,
you guys don't like him?
Well, I was looking in the 30s. That's where my eyes were looking. I was looking below
even...
Shinx, probably.
Hmm.
You were thinking above?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. But
What's
look,
the
if you
typing
guys
on
want
this?
to...
Ooh, ice. Interesting. Dark
That,
ice.
that does kind of...
I mean, Ghibli? Let me look at Ghibli.
Gibble.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, it's
This
got
might
to
be
be
right
higher than
around
this
Obama
fucker.
Snow. This
It's
might be
gotta
right
be
around
higher.
Obama Snow.
It's got to be higher than...
I think it's not as good as Luxio.
I think it's right
Yeah.
under Luxio.
Yeah,
I think
right
it's
under
right under
Luxio.
Luxio.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
20?
Yeah,
Oops.
it's good. It's also Weavile itself.
It's
is
cooler
not-
than Gabite. Yeah.
Weavile itself is not necessarily an iconic Pokemon. I would say Sneasel is.
Sure.
It's definitely
I was
it's
just
not an
thinking,
S tier, not
have we
like
published? Are we publishing this list? Is this list
Are we
public?
When it's
public?
done, when we complete it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's public in the sense that we say where we're putting Pokemon every week, but we haven't.
When it's done, we'll do
released
the
it.
tier list maker with it, you know?
Oh yes,
Mm.
yes.
All right. Well, that's the Pokemon. Let's get into it. So we have a lot of challenges to go over that we're going to watch and discuss. But before that, is there anything what you guys do for New Year's? Anything going on last week that you want to talk about?
No.
You've been just doing stuff with family. You've been busy.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole. Yeah. So let's go on.
Okay.
Thomas.
All right,
Thomas.
you got sick.
Thomas went to a bang. I got sick. Thomas went to a banger. Apparently,
I did go to a bang in New Year's. With
Still recovering.
Barely awake at midnight.
It's not midnight. It's 9:30. You think I look tired, which is funny. You know what it might be, actually, because I'm actually using I got some gear sent from work, so they sent like an actual, like, it's a Canon R8. It's like a little DSLR,
Sure,
lightweight DSLR. So I might just be coming through in very, very high, like a much better quality and resolution than I have
it is
been.
a bit sharper than it normally is.
So like I'm definitely like not as soft.
But
It's
also,
not as
Tom,
soft.
the last few times we saw you, you were with family and stuff. So
Oh,
like
true.
the
Through,
beard
like,
was
my-
trimmed, the hair looked good. Whereas like you're kind of showing up today like you did, like you still are recovering from a party 2 days ago. You know? You just had the haircut was
That's
still
hilarious.
fresh.
Oh, haircut's not fresh anymore. That lost its luster. Unfortunately. Yeah, had a great New Year's. Just hung at, it was a chill party.
Cool.
Saw Nosferatu.
Me too.
Enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't think it's my favorite of Robert Eggers' filmography, but enjoyed it quite a bit. Very good movie.
Yeah.
Watched
One of the
Squid
better movies
Game-
I saw this year.
Watched Squid Game
Oh.
2 Season 2 Part 1.
Yeah.
Pretty pissed.
They've
I
only
did not-
released a first part.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were only releasing it. So it ends at episode 7. And when it ended, I looked at Brett and we were like, wait, what?
It's just unresolved, right? It's like,
oh, it's just totally unresolved. Like
Okay.
it's completely unresolved. Like
I'm not
like,
starting it then until part 2's out.
No, you actually are like I was pissed. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like I want to know what happens. Like what's going on here?
I'm so glad because I've been wanting to Google it because I saw that it was part 1. So I've wanted to Google it. My concern was Googling it and then getting spoiled on something.
Oh yeah, it does.
So now that I know it's like, because I was like, oh, well, maybe part 1, they do a full Squid Game and then there's a final Squid. Okay.
No.
Cool. Definitely
Nope.
not watching it till part 2 is out.
Nope. It's good.
That
though.
sucks. Okay. Well, that's good.
Spoiler right there, though. Just so everyone's aware.
It's good.
That's a
except it
spoiler
ends.
that it doesn't end because it's part 1 of 2.
It's a spoiler that the games don't end.
I guess.
Look, these are your fucking rules that I'm playing by.
Well, first of all, they're not my rules.
I don't think it's a fucking spoiler.
They're not my
Tuna
rules.
said that without any kind of warning whatsoever. He just threw that out there. And he's acting like
That's not a spoiler.
The bullshit
What?
that you have over time considered a spoiler, and then you say that the fact that it ends with the
that's not a
game's
spoiler.
unresolved, that's a
No,
massive
Chris
plot
just-
spoiler.
Chris just
I
said it
asked.
doesn't end unresolved. and
I
it
did.
ends
I asked.
unresolved.
No. Then
Yes.
Chris said,
Play it back. Play it back. Because
then
Chris said, does it
Wolf's
end?
Law,
He didn't
Karthik,
say.
he did. He said it
We're going to the
ends
chat. We're going to the chat.
Chris says, I
he
thought it
said
was
it the
going to
second
end
time.
with a
Yeah,
Squid Game.
that was the second
Yeah,
question.
and then you affirmed that what he said was correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but not the first time.
I would say that that's a pretty mild spoiler, only in the fact that it's part 2.
I do think
there's part 1 and part 2.
A spoiler, but by
yeah.
Tuna's fucking standards,
no,
a spoiler.
No.
Oh my god,
that's implied. That's an implied thing.
You are impossible. Yeah. You're impossible.
I'm with Tuna on this one.
No, you're just upset, Tom.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You're just salty. Because you are the king of spoilers.
Well, Tom, here's a question for you. Are you going to start it?
We're about to crown.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
Great.
Oh, I'm going to wait.
We're about to crown 2024's King of Games, right?
That's true. We are going to crown King of Games.
And Tom is the King of
Queens.
King of spoilers.
I think. Ooh, who is the King of spoilers?
It's Tuna.
Thomas
you know what?
Caswell.
You know what? Now that we're starting 2024, I'm gonna keep tabs on them. I'm gonna keep tabs. I'm gonna start a spoiler note. Spoilers of 2025.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see who the king of spoilers is.
Wolf's Law, by the way, agrees with me in chat, just so everyone's
aware. Yeah. So you want to know what's interesting? I don't know if you can tell, but so far, I was talking through the Apple, and now
it didn't sound great, and it does sound much better.
It sounds so much better.
And now, because the USB wasn't plugged in.
Gotcha.
So,
hell yeah.
The thing that you attach to my desk.
Oh yeah, he's got an arm, Chris. Like he's got the whole thing. It doesn't look
like when I have to work, I just move this over out of the way.
He loves that.
That's awesome. Now we just got to get him. We just got to get him a camera that's at eye level, so it's not pointing at the lights.
Oh no, the lights. That's a reference only Karthik will get.
Tom saw that movie.
Oh, he did see that movie. That's true. He did see that movie. Okay.
All right. Can we move on from this?
Stay on target.
Let's stay on target. Let's talk about the best games.
Do that
it was my anniversary on New Year's Eve. We went to Chili's.
Congratulations.
We eloped last year, went to Chili's. So this year we went to Chili's.
So did you always have to go to Chili's?
That's our anniversary tradition now. It's going to Chili's.
Did you have the spicy mozz stick?
No, we were gonna get the spicy mozzarella sticks. Thought about it, but honestly,
they're so good.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
The fajitas are a ton of food, and I love the fajitas, so I knew I was going to be putting
flavor
away.
on those mozz sticks.
Yeah, okay,
is incredible.
We'll have
Next
to go
year's.
back. Therese wasn't feeling super hungry, so I was like, let's not do it, because she was like, I wasn't going to eat enough. It was going to be too wasteful, so I decided not to. I'll have to try it because it did sound good.
It's very good. It's very good.
Fuck. No one had told me that it was very good. So I was kind of like, oh, that sounds nice, but like whatever.
No, they're good.
All right. Well, next time, I guess. Next time.
Yeah.
Haven't been to Chili's in fucking forever.
And then so my friends Mike and Emily came over, who you guys met when we did the live show. They came to the live show. And I think if you ever had come on the Zeitgeist podcast like years ago, Emily used to do that with me. But we played that. Huh?
Don't we know Emily?
I don't think he's talking about this. He's not talking about Emily.
No,
Emily
not Emily Jacobson. No, this is Emily Burke.
She was on an episode of this.
Emily Burke wasn't ever on this.
No. Okay.
No. So but this game was so much fun. I played that new game I got.
I've seen this thing advertised so many times on my Instagram.
What the fuck is that?
You use like little hands to do like a heist.
So it has these tripwires. So Tom, you build this little like grid box, right? And it's supposed to be like a museum or like a vault or whatever. And there's like 5 different rooms that have like jewels with padlocks locked on them. And you get these long arms with these little hands. You can see they're holding them. And you have to like try and lift the jewels and like steal them and shit. But if you touch the tripwires, then they'll fling off and then you fail the
Right.
mission and stuff, and it's very fun. It's a very, very fun game. It's
All
just a
right.
dual heist game that's got dexterity, and like it's a very fast moving game. It's super simple. It's each round you just rotate who the mastermind is. So the mastermind is like, I'm the one picking what jewel we're gonna go after, and however many like blocks are on it are its
Yeah.
value, and then you recruit from the other players who's going to do the heist with you based on like what cards they have. So someone might have like add additional time, or like, oh, I can come in through the top because normally you can only go through the sides. They have like the helicopter card. And then the people that aren't in the game can play like mischief cards, like, oh, you have to like cover your eye, like one of your eyes during it. You can't move. So from wherever you start from, you have to stand there the whole time. You can't maneuver around, like different things like that to screw with you.
Hmm.
It's very fun. And the timer for it, you just use an app and it just plays like spy music and it's 90 seconds. And then there's just an extended one for when you have extended time and it's kind of fun. Gets the mood going. It's good. Good time. And then we thought we'd go watch the
Glad I
fireworks on a
didn't
roof.
disappoint.
And it was like the movie The Mist. You could see like 30
Oh,
feet in
beautiful.
front of you. It was so foggy. Like
Beautiful.
so it sounded like you were in a war zone because you just saw like lights and heard
Hmm.
explosions nearby, but you couldn't see anything.
Hmm.
So yeah, so
Beautiful.
that was a bit of a bummer.
Right.
And we saw Nosferatu and saw Wicked. So I caught up on
Huh?
some movies that
Okay.
I'd wanted to see. Let's get into our top games of the year. Now, Tuna, you don't have 10. Why don't
I mean, I
you have
have
10?
10. I have 10, but like my 6 through 10 are not really like
That's fine.
in a rankable area.
That's
They're
fine.
all in the same boat,
Okay.
pretty much.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a hard 6 through 10.
I mean, I guess I could do it now.
All right, well then let's go ahead and Tom, you have your list pulled up.
Yep.
All right, let's start with your number 10. We'll start with Tom. All right. Tom's number 10.
My number 10 is Destiny 2. The
Oh.
Final Shape.
Whoa, made the list.
Wow.
Interesting.
Made the list. I just think when I think about my
Mhm.
top 10, I was so happy and satisfied with the conclusion to what they had built
Mhm.
that if that is our last dalliance with this game, it will be my most fun I've ever had with Destiny. And so for me, that was what squeaked it over, because I do think it is just like, it's weird because on some level I feel like, oh, it's a very competent release, like finally, like they nailed it, like this is what it should have always been.
Yeah.
So it is grading on a curve. I feel that's definitely part of why I was kind of in the doesn't make the list. But no, I think they did a really masterful job. And
Yeah, had a fun couple of months.
yeah, it was a good couple of months there.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's higher than yours, actually, without giving
I would
stuff
like
away.
for us to do the raid. I do feel like because we didn't do the raid, I don't like
it's
the I
probably pretty
don't
doable.
I'm ready to be done with that game and never play it again. But like I don't want to
You
do
wanna
that
do the
until
raid.
like I would like to do the final raid, you know?
Yeah.
So we should figure out when we want to do that. Because before, busy games start again, and then it's just never gonna happen.
It
I'll
would
go
need to
next
be
because
January,
Alex is still
probably.
finishing up his list here. I'm putting at number 10 NES World Championships. I thought this game was phenomenal. It was almost exactly what I want, but because of the lack of leaderboards, it kept this game from being what it needed to be. Like the annoyance of Alex and I having to send each other photos back and forth. It kind of made the game fall off a lot faster than it would have. I feel like we would still be playing. I know you're still playing it, but like I just forget. And without like something to play against, like I already, got an A or an S on everything already in the game at this point. I just went through and beat everything and I unlocked everything. So like with the lack of leaderboards, not being able to like play and see Alex's time, even if it's just through friends and like compete on that weekly, it it lands at 10, which tells you like
Yeah,
what a good game
yeah,
it was, because it
it's
could have
good.
been
It's
even
good.
better.
So my number 10 is Pokemon trading card game.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'm still collecting. I'm still opening packs. I'm finding it, I hit a wall with the first 3 packs that we were offered. Now I'm hitting a wall with the second mythic pack that we're allowed to open. I just open when I open it, do the challenges, build
Yeah.
my deck. I have like 3 or 4 really good decks now, all with different abilities or energies. But it's a great game. I will say this with the caveat that my 10 through 6, I have ranked them, but my 10 through 6 are all kind of in the same ish. In the
I think
same,
all
like,
of my top
they
10 games
peaked.
are amazing. So it's like I think they're all great games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, we're really splitting hairs, especially when you
Yeah.
start to get to the top.
Yeah.
I think
Thomas?
if
Sorry.
anyone says the name of a game that's also on your list but at a different number, we should just
Yeah.
continue to discuss it. And then when you get to that number, you should just say it so that we can then we're not just going back and forth a bunch.
Yeah, and
I
it's
agree. I'm
Okay.
not gonna. Yeah, if you mention, like, you said what you had to say on Nintendo World Champions, I didn't really need to add anything. I agree with everything you said. So when I get to it, I'm just going to name it.
Cool. All right, Tom, number 9.
Before that, though, just to say
Oh.
something about
Yeah,
Pokemon,
yeah.
it was on my list last week of games that
Yeah, we
didn't
talked
make
about
my
it last
top
week.
10.
Yeah.
And Tuna, did you ever play Marvel Snap?
No.
Were you playing that?
No, we talked to him about it. He would love Marvel Snap.
So it's just like, I think I'm sticking with Pokemon because I think that Pokemon as cards, like it's the nostalgia factor of all of that, and like
Sure.
it's the one the 3 of us will continuously like check in on. So like that, there's that element of it as well. But comparatively, when it comes to not only how the matches function, like in the battling, and then also the design of the game, it just like it's so underbaked from a couple of standpoints. I think they nailed the experience of opening a pack digitally, but everything else is kind of a mixed bag of quality. And so that's why it didn't make my top 10. But it is that game that will define this year. In a way, I think also that Pokemon Go was so much like 2016, like we remember that time. So
Okay.
It's a good pick. It is.
So your number 9 is?
My number 9 is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Ooh.
It's only this low because I
Ooh.
didn't get nearly as far with it. It was one that I kept wanting to get back to, and I would pick it up.
This is a problem I have with you, Tom. You don't finish games.
I mean, look, that's never gonna. It's never gonna change.
That's just who he is.
It's unbelievable.
It could potentially change if I were to get out of games media. But
things are taking hits because you're not finishing shit.
I know. But look,
I don't think it would have went higher up on his list.
Yeah, and that is the other thing is
I thought it was. I loved it. I thought it was a great game. I thought it had great mechanics.
Yeah,
really cool
agree
abilities.
With all these things.
It was
much higher up on my list.
It was challenging. The puzzles were really good.
Yeah,
the game design was really good.
Yep. I like the story even.
Yeah, the story was good. I loved it. Loved it.
The abilities were great.
Yep.
The challenge levels were really difficult and fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there were like 1 or 2 things that were, I think, annoying that I decided to not 100% it. I got like really close, and there were like 1 or 2 reasons why I didn't, and I just ended up giving up on 100%ing it.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, like, the fact that I almost 100% that game is not something I traditionally do unless it's a great game, which I have a few of those on here. But yeah,
all right.
I get why
9?
it's at 9 for you, Tom. 9 is great. It's in your top 10. Tom played probably 80 games this year,
and I think back on it, and it is that thing of like when I think of top 10 gaming experiences I had, and I do think that this year for me is a big gameplay year of how the game felt to play, and so and you'll see I think a lot of that in the rest of my list, and it felt great. Like if I had made it, I just didn't see everything that it had to offer. But I do agree with Chris. I do think it would not make it much further up my list if I did have further positive. I also think if it was more recent, I think the fact that for so many
it was almost a year ago.
I know. Yeah. But I think the fact that for so many people were still talking about it at the end of the year for game, best of lists.
Yeah.
It's such a shame that studio closed down, because I do really think that like it is a game that's going to stick around. So yeah, that's
Chris,
my number 9.
UFO 50, a game that I would
Okay.
I haven't talked about as much because I didn't really get into it until like between Astrobot and Indiana Jones, and then I kind of stopped playing it during Indiana Jones. And now that I'm done with Indiana Jones, I've been playing a lot of UFO 50. There are some phenomenal games in that 50 game collection. There's some like really unique games in that 50 game collection. I really, really hope it comes to Switch, but if not, I might need Tuna to get this on like PlayStation or Xbox, or whichever one of those it's on. It's just it would be a better handheld experience because I'm gonna want to do challenges in this.
That's crazy.
This game would have so many incredible challenges for the next season of our challenge series for this year. But I'm hoping that maybe it'll come out on Switch so that you can play it there, because it's definitely the kind of thing you like would want to like play in bed, because like the games are small, they're short. Like it's definitely, I play it on my Steam Deck, so it's shocking to me it's not on Switch, but it's such a small team that made it. So I also understand why. It's just a lot supported everywhere. So hopefully it makes its way over. But yeah, UFO 50. Tuna, number 8.
Nintendo World Champions.
Number 9.
I thought it was a great game.
Right, sorry.
I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I will not forget
this
summer.
Is your 9, right, Tuna?
Number 9.
Okay.
I will not forget the summer of Chris and me sending pictures back and forth of our best times.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my.
Sure, there'll be more challenges to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tom, number 8.
Number 8 is Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. This is one of the games formerly known as Yakuza, and it is an absolute delight. It is the first one I've really given the college try. Like I think I played a bit of 7 because it was on Game Pass at one point, and I've gone to the older games, but they are very dated. And so I've never really been able to jump in. So I jumped in with this, and I played probably like 60 something hours of the game. I think I got like 3/4 of the way through before the next fucking big thing came along. But I was really playing it a lot. And I think that the way it realized Hawaii, them bringing like their attention to detail to, because I don't know if you know this, but in the previous games, you've pretty much been playing the same place. It's the same like 5 square miles of this part of Tokyo, and it rarely ever changes over the games. It's the same location. So them putting it in this completely different setting was really cool, and I thought the gameplay, the mix of turn-based with the real-time action of some of the other Yakuza games, because 7 was when they switched to turn-based, and this one does like a little bit of both. Still very turn-based though. All the mini games and stuff was so much fun. There's this whole mini game in it. I don't know if you know about. It's a Pokemon ripoff, but the idea is that when you fight enemies who are just people on the street, like it'll be like a homeless person in a sleeping bag will be like an enemy that you'll fight. You can collect them as like your perverts.
It's really weird.
At Shojimon, I think is what they call, and you can make them fight each other. And that's just one of the many, many things that happen in this game. And so I really saw the charm. I understand why people obsess over these games and play them and like love the karaoke and all this other stuff. And yeah, I just really, really, really enjoyed it. And the story is phenomenal and the performances are incredible. So that's my number 8.
I played that game, didn't make my top 10. I fell off of it because another game came out, but also it was just too long. It's too long of a game. My number 8 is not fully out, and it's probably the only reason why it's at number 8. It's Hades 2. Hades 2 was an incredible game, but it's incomplete. So because I mean, there's a lot more to do in it, even though I did defeat the main villain. There's like so much more to do that is incomplete in the game that it can't go in the top 10. It felt incomplete. And it didn't have enough weapons yet. It didn't have enough like other things that are clearly like going to be added. I felt like maybe a little too many collectibles as well, but I have a feeling that when the final version of it comes out, 1.0 launches, it's going to be, I mean, it might end up in my top 3 for 2025. We'll see.
All right. That was your number 8?
Yeah.
My number 8 is Helldivers 2.
Hell yeah.
So I had a great time playing it. I thought that it lent itself really well to you, me, and Tom playing in a team, trying to do things together. However, it got very samey after a couple weeks, like a month or so. It got a little samey. Kind of lost its luster once we upgraded all our shit and had really cool stuff. And then it didn't seem like there was that much more to do in the
Yeah.
game.
And I think they balanced it a little too much. It was a little bit more fun when we were able to overpower the enemy and then we could just play the harder difficulty, I thought. And that was a big complaint that actually came from they kept balancing the game because like we kept like the player base kept getting really good at it and finding like the best strategies. And then I think they balanced it into oblivion and kind of killed the game for a while because they ended up they ended up like buffing a bunch of stuff that they had nerfed this fall when they added a bunch of content, and it's apparently brought a lot of players back to the game. That's also on my list. It's my next one, so I figured I should just throw that in now, which I would say had they known it was going to be the success it was and they had that third faction out, we probably would have gotten back to it sooner. I would like to go check that out, especially because they added vehicles and all this other stuff that I'd like to see. I mean, that mech they added, that was like really fun when that dropped. But yeah,
we should honestly
I think,
do it this month.
yeah, we should. We should check it out. Yeah. Yeah, we should. But yeah.
We're doing it.
All right. Well, Tom, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Metaphor Refantazio. This is the JRPG from the former Persona devs. Again, unlike Lost Crown, I actually think this could have made it higher on my list if I had made it further into it. It's one that I absolutely is very high on my list to get back to. Like if I'm going to get back to anything, this is one of them because I just thought what it was doing with the storytelling and the characters. Like really liked everyone in the party that had so far joined the adventure. The artwork is obviously the big draw for me with this, and like it running and like you interacting with it and all of that is phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say beyond that. It's just an excellent game. It was GameSpot's Game of the Year. IGN also gave it their Game of the Year, and it's rare that both sites pick the same game. It's funny how historically they've usually picked different games. Like last year we did Baldur's Gate, they did Tears of the Kingdom. So the fact it was both, I think, really is a testament to its quality. And then I will say that I mean, like my next one was Helldivers 2.
Okay.
And nothing more to say than what you guys said. I think that I think if it wasn't such a fucking packed year, I don't think it was so much the game losing its luster more so than just there's so many other things to play. You know, we were rolling into Destiny coming back at that point, like you know, I think if it hadn't been so busy, we would have stuck with it a bit longer because I think fundamentally it's just really fucking good. And the fact that it's the only kind of game that is like that is kind of insane. And I guarantee that we will see so many clones of it over the next half decade or so. So yeah, so that was my 8 and 7, I guess. So, but yeah.
Well, my 7 was Helldivers 2. So Tuna, if you want to get into your 7.
My 7 is Destiny 2.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah, Helldivers 2 was 6. Never mind. My bad. Go ahead. Destiny 2 was at 7.
Okay. Destiny 2 was 7. Nothing really to add other than I played the fuck out of it and it like defined my summer.
Sure.
And the beginning of the fall. I mean, Tom was like, I mean, the only reason I played this game was because Tom was like, oh, play this game with me, play Destiny with me tonight. And I was like, I haven't played it in a long time. Signed on, played it, got hooked, and did the grind got weapons, upgraded my
Despite
shit.
that first time we tried to play being a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, but
Trying
like
to
the
figure
night
out
that
what you had, what you didn't have, what you could play, what you couldn't play.
but the night that the three of us we didn't do a raid. We did what, a dungeon? Whatever the hell we did that night.
Yeah,
That was, I mean,
that was awesome.
that's
It was awesome
peak.
having Destiny
That's
back. Yeah.
yeah, that's peak gaming
Yeah.
when it's the three of us working together to actually do something instead of just everyone on their own. You know, everyone always says, "Oh, Tuna's always on his own doing something." Well, you know. Anyway, Destiny 2.
I can't wait to play this Elden Ring game with Alex and Tom. It's
No,
gonna be like Pico Park.
Oh boy.
I tell you what, I think we're gonna get really into that.
I think we are as well.
I think that experience is gonna make us.
It's gonna be like Destiny. We're gonna be finding time to game that like we normally don't have.
We're gonna make time. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for Night Rain. Yeah.
All right. Well then, so Tom,
we heard 6 from Tom, right?
yeah. So my number 6 is Star
Helldivers.
Wars Outlaws. I
Mr. Outlaw.
nearly 100% the game. There's just like so many. I think honestly, the game has two major flaws. Number one was that it came out before it was actually ready. So there were just things that were clearly missing, and that's not so much the developer's fault as it is Ubisoft's. And number two is that it's an Ubisoft game, and they're still following this like your game has to have 1 billion fucking waypoints and like way too many things to do. And the game has so many really like fun side quests that are great, but then they kind of can get lost in a sea of the bad ones. But the game itself, the world, and like the walking around, the interacting with everything, it's so fucking good. It feels like you're at Galaxy's Edge and at Disneyland, but like on a much more massive scale. The just like being in that world is great. It's just getting it going was like it was a really bad start to what I think is actually a very good game. It's just a very poor start to it, to the point where even in the first couple hours, I remember being like, I don't know about this. Like I wasn't into it, and I had to get past that. So I'm glad that it sounds like they fixed a lot of that, or at least improved it in a number of ways to make it like not annoying and not as slow to get the game up and going. But that's what prevents it from being higher on this list, because otherwise, I think like the story was great. The story was very much like Solo meets Andor at times. And I think the finale, like the end mission, I thought was fantastic. So yeah, I had a great time with that game. Tuna, number 6.
Balatro.
Oh,
had a lot of fun with Balatro. Loved Balatro. I thought the Joker system was amazing. A game that had such a simple concept turned into an obsession for the better part of a good number of weeks, I would say. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really innovative game. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome, actually. So yeah, hats off to Balatro. Rounding out my top 5 of my top 10. The bottom 5 of my top 10, sorry.
All right, now we're into the top 5. So Tom, number 5.
Real quick before I get into number 5, Slater's in the chat and he asked, "Is there a case for metaphor for non-JRPG people?" So I just want to answer that. I think this is the most.
How long is it?
It's very long. It's very long. It's like 100 hours if you want to do. Like the story is probably like 60 to 70 hours, and then like you're doing side quests and stuff.
How long did it have 70 hours for just main story?
Yeah, because the thing is like you have to do other things, like the side systems and side stories, like they're almost required. They're not really optional. Like what you do obviously is but it's not a game you can breeze through. You literally have a calendar. Like you literally have to like plan your days and stuff like that. So it has all of this shit. And like if you are just fundamentally like averse to that, and I totally understand, it's all there still. It's just the most streamlined, polished, considerate version of that there has been. So I do think that it is more accessible than any of the Persona games, for example. And it's a fantastic story, and obviously it's a beautiful looking fucking video game. Also, the story does not take long to get going. You are from the jump like the stakes of this world and what is happening and everything, like it doesn't, whereas like Persona 5, the last game that these people put together, it's just like you're just at high school for so long chatting to students about it just takes so long to get going. That game does not have this problem, and that might be a way to jump into it. So there you go. My number 5, Indiana Jones and the Circle of Doom, the Great Circle. This is a fantastic fucking video game. It is, I think it's a testament to this game that so many people are talking about it, or there's so much conversation around it, despite it coming out at the 11th hour, the 12th hour even. It was, the week of the Game Awards. It was way after the nominees had to be picked. I think that it's phenomenal. I think it's really good on every level. It's phenomenal in some. I think performance, story, all of that is top notch. I do think that the gameplay is a little bit more of a first draft. This is very different than what the studio has ever done before, and they really do a really good job of adapting it. And I think that if they do make another one, we are going to look at it like the Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 1, where Uncharted 1 was a groundbreaking game for its time, but it's kind of it's subpar compared to the rest of the franchise, and I think we'll see that with Indy as well. So phenomenal game.
So it's also on my list along with Balatro, and so I forgot to add to it, but I guess I'll get to that when I get to it then, so we don't go back. But I want to say about Indiana Jones, I think this could have gone higher on your list if you got farther, because what I can tell you for sure is this game only gets better it almost feels like a game that they made chronologically, like that as you're playing it, they like continue to come up with ideas as they made it too, like in order.
It's cool.
Because each region you get to is better than the last. And I say that like the last open region has a mechanic in it that most people hate. I generally hate having to swim in games. I hate it. It's usually not good. And even that, like being there doesn't drag it. Like that last region, the missions that you go on, even the side quests are so good that like I feel like the side quests in that last area, I don't even know why they're like the fact that you could skip them and beat the story without doing them sucks, because like there's stuff in them that is as good as all of the main missions. And it seems like, how you're like, oh, like imagine if they had made this game, the next one, like knowing what they know, that third region feels like that. And the end of the game, the story, I think ends up incredible. And the final, like the masterpiece puzzle in the game, I thought was fucking great. I 100% this game. So like this game is higher up on my list.
I also
love it.
I didn't finish the game, but I love this game. At first, like that first mission when you're plopped in and you're doing the scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
it's a little like clunky. It's good, but
is.
It's a little clunky. And like at first, I'm kind of like, I don't know about this first person view. I don't know about this. Like I don't know about the combat. Like I seem a little heavy. But as you go on, and as the game progresses, the game does become amazing. Right?
Yeah.
It turns
Big
into
time.
like the voice acting.
Oh my God.
What is the guy's name who voices Indiana? What is his name?
Troy Baker.
Right. He was Last of Us guy, right? So, but he nails Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. Like, it's incredible. And Voss, the bad
a young
guy,
Indiana Jones too, specifically. Indiana Jones. Yeah.
And Voss, the bad guy, also amazing.
The villain is phenomenal.
Tony Todd crushes it.
So the only thing that I would say about this game that has pissed me off, and it keeps pissing me off, is I don't need Indy to remind me of something in a puzzle. I don't need his sidekick to remind me and go, oh, I think what you just did opened that door. Like, I know. Like, I don't need Indy to go, oh, now I have 2 of X instead of 1 open. It's like, dude, I get it. Like, I don't need the hand-holding in that kind of way.
Yeah,
like,
I think they could flag those things so that you could turn them off. Like,
they really need to, because it is
like,
really
do you want dialogue
annoying.
Reminders?
Right, exactly. Do you want dialogue reminders?
Or put a longer timer on it. Because God of War kind of had this problem too.
Who did?
God of War.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah, Mimir might have been like, "Hey, Kratos over there."
In the chat, sounds like Atreus all over again, and that was
it is. I don't think it's actually as bad as I think Atreus was worse.
Atreus might have been worse, but it's
because
one of those
there's
things
like a little bit of time between when things happen usually and they start talking, but there's not enough. It feels like stuff that they should be saying when it's like, oh, you haven't done the thing yet, and so maybe the game thinks you don't know what to do.
Right.
But like
Whereas
it's too soon.
But here's the thing: you've made a game where you've also hidden things.
Yes.
Off the beaten path.
Yes.
So if I'm searching the room for a crack in the wall or a space that I can shimmy through or somewhere where I can duck under because there might be an artifact over there,
a wall
that
you
I
can
want to
break.
go find. I don't need Gina or even myself reminding me of the puzzle
100%.
that I'm doing. Like, leave me alone. Like, let me just play the game.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, right? And other than I think the puzzles, I'm sure they get harder. But I think that with this being their first foray into this, right? Like, the puzzles were good, but you could ramp up the puzzle difficulty.
Final puzzle, you're gonna need a piece of paper.
I'm sure the final puzzle is probably amazing. But all I'm saying is that like there was a puzzle, there's some puzzles I thought were really good, and some puzzles I'm like, okay, like is this really a puzzle?
Or what area are you in?
Have you left?
I just left area number 2. Anyway, Indiana. Great game. And actually, I appreciate one last thing I'll say. I ended up appreciating the almost like clunkiness and slapstick of the combat because that's the movies.
Sure.
Like that's the way the movies are. Like there's this one scene.
It's funny. It's a funny fucking
like
game.
Indy is fighting this other person and they both like something happens. They both look at each other like as if it were the movie. They both look like, huh? Like and it is ridiculous in some ways, but so was the
I like throwing food at the Nazis.
Yeah.
Throw food at the Nazis, hit a Nazi in the face, hit one of the black shirts, one of the fascists in the face with an apple.
Though, that there is so much to be missed if you don't do the side stuff. And the side stuff is really good.
It's really good. You're going to be really happy with some of the puzzles in the third region.
Well, the third region's already really cool.
Oh, that's the third region. You're in a more linear area right now. So like it's not open world in the way that like you'll see.
Whole thing?
You'll see.
Okay.
There's another like really big place like Giza was. But that's not where you are now. Which isn't giving anything away.
Oh no. No, okay, no. I'm past that.
Oh, okay. So you're up to
I'm up to yes.
So you've seen what the Great Circle does.
Yes.
Because this is the enter of the third act is the reveal of what the Great Circle does. And the Great Circle is it's awesome. And if Alex, you know what? If you like the Great Circle, you really should watch Dial of Destiny.
All right.
So
we're
Tom, number 4.
No.
Oh, right.
You're number 5.
That was my number 5, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And I don't really have anything else to add to it. I loved it. It was a phenomenal game.
My number 5, we don't have to spend a long time here because we've actually talked about this game a lot.
Yeah.
Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is number 5 for me. It was very good. I 100%ed it. It was a good, solid Zelda game. Right? It didn't reach into the upper echelons of the best game of the year or anything like that. But it was good enough, and it still makes my top 5. So,
wow,
still has some kinks they got to work out.
It didn't make my top 10.
Yeah, the thing is that like I really enjoyed it, but like when I don't even know if you were here that episode, Chris, but it was my complaints were they didn't go full tilt. They should have gone all in.
Yep.
On the Zelda thing.
Same with Plucky Squire.
Oh, Plucky Squire didn't make my top 10. So
yeah. All right. Number 4, Tom.
4.
My number 4 is the Lake House DLC for Alan Wake.
Whoa.
Oh, you're putting just a DLC on there.
DLC.
I still didn't play it. This is exciting.
It's very, very, very good.
I might go play it right after this.
It's very short. It's 3 hours long. I was shocked that it was but by the time I was done, I was like, "Oh, we're done. Okay, cool." Not in an unsatisfying conclusion, way. It's such an excellent mix of Alan Wake gameplay, but with the vibe, mixing Alan Wake with Control, because it all takes place in this a station that the Bureau has set up in Bright Falls. And in the short amount of time, the story it tells, some of my favorite, this is similar in both Control and Alan Wake. Like, you enter a new area, what stories can I discover? Like, what can I learn about the people here in this part, and like what's happened and everything. I think this was my favorite one of at least Alan Wake 2. Finding what happened to this station, the control agents that worked there, the story it's telling with that, and looking at the mystery of Alan Wake from the technical side and everything that we know about. They start applying the concepts that we know from Control, like objects of power and what was it called, where it's the plane of realities blurs, like all of that stuff, like applying that to Alan Wake shit and like being on that side of the veil was really, really cool. I think it's fantastic. I still need to play the Night Springs DLC, which I think is around the same length, so it's something I could probably just tackle in a
each
night.
one of them is like an hour.
Yeah. I mean, Alan Wake 2 is my game of the year. Threshold, thank you, Wolfslaw. That's the term. Alan Wake 2, I think was my game of last year, and I think
so
that
too.
Like if you just released another one of those, this is just a short another one of those. So yeah, it made it to my number 4 when I really think about it.
I do want to say, speaking of Alan Wake 2, there was a request for so I'm going to keep a spoiler of 2025 list. I have Tuna spoiling Squid Games Season 2 Part 1.
At that.
There was another request for a list for Tuna. And that was to keep a to-do list for Tuna, which games like Alan Wake, Vampire Survivors DLC, RoboQuest. He did so, which I maybe we never talked about it, Alex, but we did play that RoboQuest game. So we could talk about that in like the post show or whatever. But do you remember RoboQuest? It was that first-person shooter where we played as it was on Game Pass. Did you mute yourself? I can't hear you.
Oops.
Yep.
Yes, we did play it. Yes, I do remember it. It was, but we sucked.
Yeah, we just hit a wall with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They announced it's coming to PSVR 2. They're making a VR version of it. And that makes me be like, maybe we do double dip. We try it again.
Okay.
And we just wait for that to come out.
Yeah, you can get me in on a VR game. Of any
so I think we'll probably do that. But I remember us just like hitting a wall. We're like, this seems cool. We're bad at this game.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah.
All right. That was your number 4?
No.
That was Tom's number 4.
That was Tom's, yeah. I mean, now we've talked about a lot of the same games, so we're...
Yeah, so I think we can just...
All right, so my number 4 needs no introduction. It's Walkabout Mini Golf.
Whoa!
It made it to number 4 on my list. Arguably, it could be number 1 on my list. I played it more than I played the next 3 games this year. And I still want to continue to play it every day. Not only did they come out with more courses in 1 year than it launched with, but they also added new game modes. They added slingshots and slingshot courses. They added race mode. They added match play. They added simultaneous play. They have this whole weird little ARG thing that they started within the game. I mean, they added new avatars. Like, there have been so many additions to this game.
They created 4 other video games within a course.
Yep, that's right. The arcade course.
The arcade course has arcade games that you can play.
And they also came out with mobile. So I'm like, this is a big enough release that I'm like, you know what? Especially the amount of DLC they put out, that's basically equivalent to a title update, even though it was over the course of the year. So it deserves a spot in my top 10. And the only reason it's not higher is because I think the next 3 games are all, for me, 10 out of 10 games. So that's why it's not higher than that.
So number 4 for me, also, we've talked about ad nauseum, but Prince of Persia.
Yep.
Number 4.
Nice.
Yep.
Tom.
Number 3, Tom.
Number three.
Number three.
This is actually a game that I haven't talked about on the podcast yet.
What?
Because it came out at the start of December.
Wow.
And all the episodes have just been about other topics, really, than like what we've been playing and stuff. So I haven't gotten around to talking about it, but I played a shit ton of it because Brooke and I have been playing. And I've talked about it prior to us playing Path of Exile 2, which is this game from people who the backstory is they were sick of waiting for Diablo 3 to come out.
Tom has turned into such a little RPG simp. It's just RPGs out the wazoo on this list.
I mean, it wouldn't have happened if we hadn't played Diablo 4 so much. And Vessel of Hatred came out this year, which was the expansion, and it was very good. In fact, better than the base Diablo 4 story and the Spirit-born companion. But this game shits on Diablo 4 in so many ways. It's actually kind of insane.
Wow.
It looks better, it plays better, the mechanics are more interesting, and it's definitely clearly not as baked as Diablo because it is early access, right? So it's an early access release. But we've played a lot. Brooke really likes it. The difficulty is there. Like it's Diablo 4. I'm just waiting for cooldowns on my moves. What move can I hit with them next? Okay, A, boom. Left trigger, boom. And we're just tearing through swarms without really thinking about it. And it can be really fun. There's so much more thinking about how you have to deal with enemy types, flanking, moving, what moves to use when. I've built it so that like there's no cooldowns, like my mana's flowing, so I have every ability pretty much that I want available to me, how the abilities work, all of this. There's a lot of things that need to fix 100%, but it is such a better game than Diablo 4. So we're really enjoying it. In fact, Brooke asked me, how long is the podcast going to be tonight so we can play Path of Exile?
So don't worry, we're wrapping it up. We only have
tell her she can play Path of Exile
challenges
when we finish the Avatar RPG. Ando will remember that.
For Chris, number 3?
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, number 3. Said
number
everything that I need to say, but I loved it. It's an incredible game. It's got some rough edges, but I fully agree. Like the sequel to this has me very excited. Like has been confirmed, but rumor is like there's possibly going to be a trilogy. I would love at least a second one. Like I would absolutely jump right into a second one. There is, yes, there is a DLC. It's the Order of the Giants DLC.
Okay. All right. So my number 3 is also Indiana Jones.
Hell
so
yeah.
That means that number 2 for all of us is probably the same. Maybe.
Possibly.
No.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Not for me.
No, not for Thomas. Thomas is such a loser. Tom, your number 2, please.
Number 2 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So this is the
the amount of times I've heard about Final Fantasy VII from you on this goddamn podcast.
Well, it's at my number 2. So
again, another RPG.
Another RPG.
Another RPG. Look, these are the games coming out. I really resonated with it. I know that some people that have played it did not, but it really worked for me. I've said it before. Remake is about setting up what the kind of cataclysmic event is for this now trilogy. And Rebirth is all about learning about what you lose if you don't stop it. And the way in which it transfers the experience of Remake to an open world is very impressive. I clicked with it. I think the combat is top notch. I think that it's a very interesting mix of, it's all real time, but you can like slow time down to pick like a different move and like have a character do another move. So it just plays so nice. And yeah, I think the performances and the story so far have been incredible, and I'm still playing it a lot because there's still so much game, but it is the one that I have kept up with and will keep up with through to completion on this list. And I think that obviously says a lot for how my gaming habits are. So yeah, Rebirth is my number 2.
Okay. My number 2. See, it's interesting, Alex, because you only have 2 left. Yeah. So I wonder if a game did all of your games come out this year?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'm surprised Control didn't make your list.
It didn't come out this year.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He played it this year.
Okay, then I mean, Control would be probably.
Well, just Walkabout Mini Golf didn't come out this year. It had DLC, but you know, I'm just surprised.
All right,
Astrobot.
number 2. Yeah,
Astrobot.
My number 2.
Astrobot.
Yeah, Astrobot.
Number 2 is Astrobot.
Number 2, Astrobot for sure.
10 out of 10 game. Beginning
yeah,
10.
Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10 game. Loved it. Loved all the collectibles. Loved the maps. Loved the mechanics. Loved the gameplay. Yeah. I loved everything about it. The only thing that I would say is that you can make the next one harder, and
please.
you can make the next like bonus levels even harder.
Yeah,
like we're talking like final Mario-ish levels hard.
Yeah,
and even harder than that. Do it. Let's do it.
It was great though. I had an incredible time with it. Like it's exactly what they were trying. Like they accomplished clearly exactly what they wanted with it. And if they don't do that, but they just give us more difficult levels, like then that's fine too. I mean, it's an incredible game. It's great. I loved it.
Yep.
100% it as well. Got a platinum.
Yep. I think in the years to come we'll be looking on Astrobot 1 and like what that team has put out since and be like I don't think we can even fathom how good this franchise is.
I mean, maybe games just take so long to make now, right? Like who knows?
But this game didn't. This game only took them 3 years to develop.
Okay,
they
that's great.
Developing it for very long, so
that's great. Then we could get another one in this generation.
They made Majora in less than 2.
They did. That is true. They made games fucking hella fast back in the day.
George R.R. Martin wrote the first 3 books of A Song of Ice and Fire in fucking less time between Feast of Crows and Dance of Dragons.
I mean, we're never getting the next one. So.
You might as well dream of that spring because it ain't coming.
Yeah. All right. So Tom, number 1.
It's Astrobot. Yeah.
No, okay, great.
Yeah. No, of course.
Chris, can I take a? Oh, sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, I just think that it is stunning how it has become such a pillar of PlayStation in such a short amount of time. Obviously we had previous Astrobot games, but like them making Astrobot and putting their foot in the ground of like, we're going to make this a friend, a character.
And we're gonna have him collect pieces of our console, and he's gonna drive and fly on our controller, and it's still gonna be fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it's our the symbols on our controller are gonna be symbols that you're gonna see throughout the entire fucking game, and it's not going to get annoying, and it's not gonna.
I mean, maybe I would like them to maybe find a way to detach it from PlayStation a little bit, like
I
a little
agree,
bit.
But this game did a good job of kind of me being like,
yeah, they did a good job for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
all right,
I think we'll have less of that in the future, or at least different. But yeah, no, I mean, what is that to say? One of the best platformers ever made.
My number 1 game of the year.
Can I guess? Does it start with a B?
It does. I'm going to guess that yours starts with a W.
Maybe.
Balatro is my number 1 game of the year. I beat this game. I got all the decks unlocked. I beat the highest tier ante on the Switch. I am well on my way on iOS. I am still playing it, every week, not necessarily every day, but I love playing it on the iPad. If they had come out with a portrait mode for the phone, they need to figure out how to do portrait mode. Some people have put up versions on the Reddit, like fucking just design it. Because if I could play this one-handed on the phone, be playing it every day. But I mean, it's an incredible video. I love this video game. I love this video game. I think it's one of the best video games I've ever played. It's an incredible 10 out of 10.
Speaking of video games that we love, my number 1 is the Walkabout Mini Golf 2024 collection. They came out with 7 DLC courses, one of which is my favorite course, I think, of all time, Around the World in
Yeah.
80 Days. Venice is in
Yep.
there. Wallace and Gromit, great one. Holiday course that came out was
Mars.
solid. Mars is solid. Like Chris
Which
said,
is your least favorite of the ones that came out this year?
probably Ice
For
Lair.
me, it's Ice Lair. Yep.
Yeah,
Ice
Lair is
Lair.
probably my least favorite. They're all good though. And the fact that I love this game so much and I just want to keep playing it and I will talk about it to anyone who will listen to me speaks volumes.
This game has 60
Volumes.
courses now. If
I
you
will admit,
counting the
I will-
hard the day and the nighttime as
Yeah,
separate
I
courses,
will
which they
admit
are.
to people at work that I play Walkabout Mini Golf in VR. I will not admit that I played Destiny with you, Tom, and we stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning to achieve something,
Nothing.
to complete a raid that we didn't actually complete.
Hell
And
yeah.
then I had my wife texting me at 3:30 being like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Hell yeah.
And me saying, "Yes, I am," because I want to get this stupid jacket that I was going to buy from the company.
Which
that
you
put
never
out
would have
this-
worn.
But I never would have worn it. I never would have worn it. Okay. And then to only later that week beat it, right, from a checkpoint, only to find out that because we didn't complete part
The
3
previous.
previously, we still didn't
Yeah.
qualify for the jacket.
That's
Okay.
sick.
So I will. All right. So,
I wish you had, because I would have loved to see Alex wear that jacket. It would have clashed with everything else about Alex. It would have been incredible.
Oh my god.
Well, that is our 2024 season. Those are our top 10s. And before we get into the challenges, I put something together. I have another. So I have a little presentation for you.
No boy.
I saw a lot of movies this year, and because we already had a list going, I made a little list here for you guys. So I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on this. We're gonna go through it pretty quick, but here we go. We have my films tier list.
oh boy.
2024 at the cinema. So these are all things I saw. There might be 1 or 2 movies that were streaming, I think, by accident that I put on this list.
Uh-huh.
And there's some stuff that I missed because I used a tier maker and I added some that I weren't on there, but here we go. So I have a tier list. We're going to go through the tiers.
There she is. There
Nicole.
she is.
So we have the garbage tier list.
Garbage tier. Okay.
Wow. Okay. I
watched
watched
these,
these,
so you don't
so
have
you
to.
don't have to. Okay.
4
Let's see what's
movies.
here.
Borderlands. Terrible movie.
movie
One of the
is
worst, most painful things I've ever
atrocious.
watched. Also worse and more painful, Unfrosted and Jennifer Lopez's Atlas on Netflix, which I included and put myself through because I heard how awful they were.
Wait, what was Unfrosted? What is this?
Oh, it's Jerry Seinfeld's movie. It's the
Has
true
he done anything
history
good
of Pop-Tarts.
since
No.
Seinfeld itself?
He appeared in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it made the finale really good. He saved
Yeah.
the finale of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
That's the best thing he did was the series of finale of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And Jennifer Lopez's Atlas
Jennifer
is also
Atlas.
just and Y2K, which just came out,
That's
and
a
I thought might
shame.
be funny. And Tom, I'm
Garbage,
someone
huh?
that like can really enjoy like dumb fun movies, and I bet there are some people that will be able to enjoy it that way. I just found
I
it
heard it was bad. I heard it was bad.
cringy.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was made, and I understand Jonah Hill made it. Maybe he shouldn't have been the person. Someone else should have done this, because there was a good idea there, and this was not it. So don't literally just don't watch these movies. There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing to be gained.
Damn.
All right.
Flawed, but fine.
Wow, but fine.
If you hate it, I get it. If you had a good time, I get it too. Which means
Wow,
these all
that's
have
D?
Yeah, these all have a lot of problems, but I also like they tried to do something maybe like, or they got something right, but it's like mostly wrong, or it's like, oh, this is enjoyable because it's so bad that it's good. Like
Whoa.
Madam Web, so bad that it's good.
Oh
Lift,
god, Madam
so
Web
bad that
beat
it's good.
out all those other fucking.
Oh, look at this. I
films.
These
love
aren't
it.
in
I'd
order. These
love
aren't in
to
order.
see. I love
There's no
to see
order
the
on
substance down there. That stupid fucking movie. Stupidest
This-
fucking movie
The
I've ever
substance
seen in my
tried
life.
really hard to do something, but I get why you like it. If you like it, I think like I thought the cinematography was good. I thought like the acting, the
Terrible
performances were
movie.
good.
God,
But
to watch
I also
Fly
just,
Me to the Moon.
oh God, Fly Me to the Moon. What a bad Civil War, Civil War. So like all of these had something that I was like, oh, like the substance I enjoyed while I watched it, but as it went on, I like just dislike it more and more and more the more I think about the movie.
It's such a bad
Yeah,
movie.
because Tuna ruins it. Yeah,
No, dude, I didn't ruin anything. It's just bad. You just like bad films.
But Madam Web is bad. Madam Web is a bad movie, but it's so bad that it's funny. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Dude, we got 20 minutes into Madam Web, and I was like, this is terminally boring. Like, I'm sure that it gets so bad it's good later, but I couldn't get.
Did you see it in theaters?
No.
No, so like so some of these things also like only so Madam Web amazing in theaters because we went the like first weekend it was out and everyone was in the theater and everyone's laughing at it like so that like same with Civil War. Civil War is a movie I don't think anyone should watch anymore. You should have watched it when it was in theaters. If you missed that, it's a bad movie now because the best thing about that movie was its sound design. I can only think of one movie that had better sound design than Civil War and that was Top Gun Maverick. But Civil War, the whole time you're there, that movie is made by the sound design. Like that is it all falls apart if you watch that.
Top Gun Maverick might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's an incredible movie, Top Gun Maverick.
It's in my like soft like top 10 great movies.
Yeah. Terrible movie, stupid, but also somehow compelling. I like the performances at times, but also like really bad. And the last act is so bad that like I get it. If you hate it, I get it.
It's
Smile
such
too.
a stupid fucking movie.
Did way too much, but I'm sure people enjoy it. It's just like these aren't good movies, but there are people that will like it, and if they like these movies, I get why they like it.
All right, fine.
All right, C, solid flick. This is your 7 out of 10s with a solid flick.
No K.
Enjoyable, worth seeing, not without flaws.
Okay.
Bad Boys Ride or Die, Mad Max Furiosa. Mad Max Furiosa, like, should have been great. That movie should be, a third of its movie should be cut out. That movie goes on way too fucking long. Way too long.
They came out with a Moana 2 while they're producing a Moana 1 live action.
Yes.
Jesus.
Moana 2, a movie that is missing two key things that kept it from being Moana 2 should have been an A-tier movie, except it wasn't a movie. It was a Disney Plus series that got turned into a movie. And it doesn't have Lin-Manuel Miranda, so the songs suck compared to the first one. There's no songs in it that match the level of the songs in the original. And that's just like the people yearn for Lin. They don't want to admit it, but they yearn for Lin. And that's why it didn't perform as well. We Live in Time, really good performances between Pugh and Garfield, but I thought some of the narrative decisions in that movie made one of the two characters so unlikable that like when the movie ended, I was just glad that it was over. But like the majority of that movie, we liked it so much that I was like, oh, like I thought this was like a good, well-made movie, but I really don't like where the story went at the end. Right. So like it's a flawed movie, but it was made really well. Speak No Evil. That was like, you know exactly what that movie's going to be when you go into it, but the performances are why you watch it, not anything else. Gladiator 2, cinematography does not come close to matching the original, but it still has enjoyable action. It's still no, but this is your 7 out of 10s, Tom.
I know,
like these are enjoyable, but they're flawed.
So good. Like I still haven't seen Gladiator 2, and I'm disappointed. I really thought it was gonna live up to the first one. Yeah,
go into it just knowing that you're gonna like. There's probably people that'll think it's like a B, like it's like, but it's not an A. It's not an A plus. It's not an S tier.
How is this Wolf's movie?
Oh, it's fun. I enjoyed watching it. I wouldn't rewatch it, but it's like the kind of thing where you're like, I need to put something on, and like, I don't want to have to like pay like a ton of attention. Like, I just want to watch George Clooney be George Clooney.
Sure.
That's what that movie is. And like George Clooney, like getting into trouble is what that movie is. And that's Clooney
fun. Getting into trouble with Brad Pitt. Okay.
Yeah. Like that's fun, but it's not, you're not going to leave that and go, hey, you got to go see Wolves. Like that's not a thing that's going to happen.
Right.
All right. Now we're at the B tier. Good movies. Worth discussing, recommendable, rewatchable. Deadpool 3. Fall Guy, surprisingly good. Yeah. I had a great time with the Fall Guy. Quiet Place Day 1. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Beetlejuice. I thought they did it again.
I liked
good movie.
It. Yeah.
Did it again. Only didn't. So my A list, some of these like I could argue for my A list, but my A list and my S tier are my top 10. So that's why some of these, Could have gone back and forth. Twisters, Monkey Man. I liked Long Legs. I know a lot of people like kind of were mixed on Long Legs, but I had fun with it.
Was
Terrifier
Longlegs
3.
Nick Cage?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that was a weird but good movie.
Yeah, weird but good. Like, and also like worth talking about, right? Like that's a movie you see it and you're like, oh, I gotta find someone that saw this. I gotta talk about that movie for a little bit.
Yeah.
My Old Ass, if you haven't seen that, it's not gonna blow anyone away. But especially like if you haven't watched an indie film, if you're someone who hasn't watched an indie film in a while, this movie is incredible. Like I need to look up the budget on this movie because it's kind of like one location.
Yeah.
It's really well made though, and the performances are great. And I think the story is really nice. And it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like I think it's like 90 minutes. It's a good movie. Twisters. Come on.
Great movie. I love Twisters.
Romulus, Alien. Good. All right, here we go. Top 10.
Top 10.
Not ordered, but we're going to the so my top 10 of the year are my A and S tier. So these are 10 through 4. These are the 7 of the top 10. These are great films.
Yeah.
Stand out, stays with you, take swings. So these are movies that are doing something.
Swings.
You're gonna be talking about it. You might rewatch it.
Okay.
Nosferatu.
Whoa. No.
Wicked.
Whoa.
And these two might be recency bias, but I thought both of them were great. I thought they were both good enough that they kicked out other things that would have been on this list had they not been there.
Wait, was Godzilla -1 not this year?
It was December.
That was last year. Yeah, that was
December.
last year.
Jesus
2023.
Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was last year.
Seems recent.
Sonic 3, of course. I mean, that was a fucking good year for animation. Sonic 3 and Flow, and you'll see on my S tier. Young Woman in the Sea. If you haven't seen it yet, really solid sports. Like it's based on a true story about Trudy Edelman. She's the first woman who swam across the English Channel, and like if you like A League of Their Own, it's got kind of that vibe, except it's a much more intense story at times. And the actual like swim, because they spend all movie like hyping up how dangerous that swim was, and when they actually do it, like they deliver on like they kind of like pump up the anxiety while you're watching it. They do a really good job with that. That movie was supposed to be direct to streaming, and Disney was so happy with it that they did a limited release so that it was eligible for awards because the performances were really good. If you haven't seen Dee Dee, this is a coming of age movie for people like from our generation, and it's all about this young kid who basically wants to be a creator and starts making stuff on YouTube in like the early days of YouTube. So like if you were our age in the early 2000s, this is probably something you should watch. It's a really, really fun movie. Thelma's another indie film. It helped a little that it was literally filmed in my neighborhood. So like every scene, we were just like, hey, it's that place. Hey, it's that place. Hey. In fact, there's even a place that like we always joke about being like a front for something that is actually in the movie a front for something, which was amazing. So I guess everyone says that about that place, which makes me wonder if that place is a front for something. But Thelma is it's about a grandmother who's basically like at the end of her, not the end of her life, but she's at the end of her independence. She kind of can't be independent anymore, and she wants to prove that she can. And she just takes off and goes out like on her own. Her family was like trying to put her in a home, and she goes on an adventure, and it's really good. Laughed out loud to that movie probably more than anything this year. So that was great. That was a really funny movie. And Flow recently came out. It's an animated movie about a flood, and this cat gets trapped in the flood, lands on this boat, and befriends other animals, and then it has to. It's a really good adventure. This only recently came out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere yet, but if it is, you should check it out. It has a very distinct animation style, which is like kind of something that is happening now with all animated films. And I'm interested to see if like Pixar and Disney will start to get into that because they still are kind of going with the same looks for everything. And I'm really liking how unique animated films are starting to look. All right, top 3.
Top 3, S tier. Here we go.
Motion
Remarkable
pictures.
Wow. Remarkable.
Timeless.
Cinema.
Better on the second. Oh, I should have just wrote fans of cinema.
You should have written
fans of cinema.
And then put the S as the S tier.
Dune Part 2.
I knew
Inside
you were
Out 2.
I don't know. didn't expect. I knew Inside Out 2 would be here and Dune would be here. I didn't expect Wild Robot.
If someone were to come and say that Inside Out 2 is better than Inside Out 1, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with them. I think it's just as good. It deals with things that are more adult, especially like anxiety is like kind of the number one theme in that movie. And I mean, they did it again, and not only did they do it again, but they did new things in it. So, I mean, that's a really hard thing to do. I think it's the best Pixar movie. And The Wild Robot, incredible adventure movie. Tugs at the heartstrings.
I wanted
has
to see that one.
Really good action, really, really cool animation. That's got to be streaming by now. So you should watch that. You should watch that.
Is. And Dune Part 2, one of the best sci-fi science fiction movies of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
There it is.
There it is. Those are my films 2024. And now it's time to go through our challenges. Here we go. So earlier this year, we started doing challenges. Actually, late last year, we started doing challenges. And the current score in our challenges is I have 10 points. Alex is in second place with 8 points. And Tom is in third with 3 points. But we have quite a few challenges to go through. So Alex, if you would do us the honor of introducing this first challenge that we're going to watch. It's the first one that you submit to us. It is the Walkabout Mini Golf Race.
Race on Holiday, Hideaway, in Walkabout Mini Golf. Incredible course. And let's see who can complete it the fastest. Ready? Go.
All right. So at the beginning of the game here. Oh, Tom, you're teleporting to your shots?
Yeah, you don't just. Yeah, you don't actually just pull the trigger.
I do, but it depended on the situation.
Oh, okay. Because I just noticed that that's what he's doing. I mean, Tuna and I are neck and neck here with us right now.
Yeah. So hole number 2.
That's right. I missed that. Oh, I missed that
putt.
Yeah,
Tuna is on hole 3 on the cookie.
You're a good stroke. Oh, you didn't get the hole. Oh, did you see what I did for the hole on that? If you bounce it off the side, you can almost get a hole in one, but you could put it right next to it. That's probably how I caught up to you a little bit, because you were almost 2 strokes ahead of me.
Yeah, I didn't notice this the first time, but Tom, you don't click the trigger to get to.
The problem is when you click the trigger, it often has you not facing the direction you want.
That's a setting you can adjust.
Yeah, it does for me.
Yeah, we'll have to, the next time we play, Tom, we'll have to fix that for you.
All right, so I'm about a stroke ahead of Chris.
Because we're just popping right up to the ball, and we're always where we want to be.
Hole number 5. I'm now behind Chris on hole 5.
And I got the good loop on that shot. Do you see?
Yeah. There were a couple times, I mean, with this course, I fucked up, I think, twice. And I was like, I think I can be okay with 2 fuck-ups. Anything more than that, I would restart. Every time.
Yeah, I'm clean in down here. And Tom's only 1 behind us right now. He's basically one hole behind us at the moment.
Yeah. So you missed the hole one, I think, on the first shot.
I should have restarted on that. Restarted on that.
So I get it in on the first shot. I also do the ribbon in 1.
And then I missed the ribbon.
You missed the ribbon.
So I go for it a second time, knowing that, like, I could have done the ribbon in 2.
Yeah.
So as long as I get it on the second one, then it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
But I can't land on the ribbon, you know?
No. I had a very good bounce on hole 10, I think this is at.
That's an incredible bounce on hole 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Tom is now going to be 2 holes behind. Yeah. So here's where
Tom's 2 holes behind.
Tom falls.
I also have another incredible bounce on the next hole. Yeah, you did.
I basically had the same bounce, but you had a better one inside the gingerbread house. Where does mine go?
House. Yep.
I wonder. I had a pretty decent bounce in the gingerbread.
Even on the next hole, though, I went right through, right almost up to the hole.
Okay, I don't. I think I have a worse shot here, and Tom's eating it on the ribbon, which I get because that hole is a course killer. Yeah, see, this is the death of me right here.
This is where this is
the death of me.
Now I'm a hole ahead of you. Oh no.
You are on the next hole.
And I just finished it.
You're finishing the hole as I'm starting it. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't quite get a full hole ahead of me necessarily, I think.
No, and I missed this hole in 1, which was annoying on the ice one.
Yeah, and then I think I'm gonna pick this up, and now Tom's
You
catching
do
up to the
pick it
next
up.
one. Oh yeah, Tom's losing time because of the teleport. We gotta get that setting
The
correct for you,
teleport
Tom.
bullshit. The teleport bullshit's losing.
We gotta correct that
crucial
setting for you.
milliseconds. Crucial milliseconds.
And now we're caught up, Tuna. We're at the same. Like
Yeah.
I'm a stroke at most behind, but not even a full stroke behind here.
This was also like the furthest I'd made it on an attempt, and I was like,
we're neck and neck.
I'm not, because I knew I was going to lose this one no matter what.
Sure, this is a tough one to play, for sure. God, we were neck and neck there, Tuna, and then oh my God, you fucked it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, you ate it a bunch of times in that hole.
Because we were teeing off at the same time on hole 16.
Yep.
Ugh, and now you're at the cheese.
And then I'm at the cheese and it's over. Yeah.
Tom, what do you think about this course? All right, so Alex locks in at 355.
55, yeah.
And I'm coming in at second with 495. So not
5
even
seconds.
5.5 seconds is the time difference between you and me there. 5.5 seconds. I mean, that's really close. And I sped Tom's way up so that Tom's can finish relatively quickly. So you said there was some bullshit you want to talk about these. You don't have any bullshit to talk about?
No bullshit on
that.
no, there's no bullshit on the ones that I won.
Because you won. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
there's no bullshit
Oh,
on the
okay,
ones
great.
I won. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's only rigged if I don't win.
Yeah, I wonder. So Tom, you come in at right around 6 minutes, I think.
It's 5. Yeah, it's like 5.
It's 5 something
like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you rightly so. We're like, fuck it, just keep going at that point.
Yeah.
You did really eat it on that one because that one was like a minute of your time. I think.
The carousel was just like a nightmare.
Yeah. And then you were you
forgot
fucked up the cheese.
I forgot that I could just score it wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, because the cheese hole, the 18th hole in the holiday course is it's a Swiss cheese nugget, and there's holes right on the cheese, and each one has a certain number of strokes if you get it in that hole. So 1 stroke, hole in 1, 2, 3. But when you're playing race, it doesn't just get it in the closest hole, even though it's 3 strokes, it doesn't matter.
Been there.
Because you want to be done. All right, so that was a point to me.
The Tuna's up to 9, 10 to 9.
Next challenge.
So the next challenge is one that I submit. I sent you all a Tiger Electronics X-Men game.
Yes. This almost made
highest score wins.
Games of the
highest score wins. That's it. Straight and simple. Here we go. This is sped up just for the interest of time because I think these runs normally take like
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5.
So
5 to,
yeah, so
maybe even
basically
like 8
you're
minutes
playing.
This is more than double time.
You're playing as Cyclops, and Apocalypse comes in from the right side of the screen, and you just basically have to either jump and dodge him or shoot him with your lasers. At the end of each level, the Juggernaut shows up, and you have to shoot him a certain amount of times. There's a couple things with this game. You only get 3 lives. You can replenish your energy, but you can't replenish your lives. And the Juggernaut takes more and more hits as the levels progress. You could also pick up Wolverine if you pick up the X on the ground.
Oh.
And he can come in. If you read the manual, Tom, you would have known that.
The manual is big.
I didn't know that there was manual reading that happened.
Because of the manual, I didn't understand the healing thing at first, and then it was like, oh, I have to jump up, get the healing.
You have to jump up to heal because you have a certain amount of energy, but if you lose a life, there's no getting the life back.
Also knowing how to dodge the Juggernaut is big too for this. I mean, we're all getting up to similar stages here. We're all on our final life at this point. My recording doesn't have my best run because I did that at a time in which I thought there was no way I was getting my best run.
So Tom just bowed out at, what was that,
2460, I think.
Yep, 2460. And I'm about to knock out as well. Now, you and I are at this really funny part of the game where Apocalypse comes and shoots stuff at you. And I swear, sometimes you are just pressing the shoot button at Apocalypse for like 30 seconds before you
before you can actually get your
before you
throwing
make contact.
bombs at you.
And you're just like canceling each other. Like look how long this is.
So funny. Look at that. That's
Yeah.
so
I mean, Tuna's
fucking funny. It's like sped up too. He's just countering all these bombs. That must have been.
So I'm on
that
stage
must have
4.
easily been like a minute in real time. Like that was crazy.
Yes.
So I'm on stage 4. I'm about to die. I think I got my top score. I think at this point I was like, oh, no one's gonna get this score.
Yep.
So 4,200, and then Chris got a 5660. Now, it was not recorded, which we did say was not a problem. However,
yeah,
explain the circumstances of how you got that 5660.
Well, it was high.
Now, I don't know about you,
yeah,
but I don't know if we are going to allow performance-enhancing drugs.
Trust me, they're not
during the next iteration of this. So that's my first.
Well, we're not gonna have not gonna have any choice because I have ADHD and I'm not gonna not take my because that is a performance enhancing drug for games would be Adderall. But look, if I can't have my Adderall, then you can't have your Gatorade. You know.
What are you talking about? You have special Gatorade.
Yeah, mine's medicated. Mine's medicated.
Well, that's the thing. That's what he doesn't want you.
His whole life
he doesn't want you drinking medicated Gatorade. He wants you to stop doing that too.
Yeah, no performance enhancements.
He wants you to be half dead in the ground the next time you guys do a challenge.
Yeah. All right. What's the next challenge?
So now it's 11-9, and Tom asked us to play some Crazy Taxi.
I fucked this up so bad. I could have beaten.
I mean, let's find out.
Oh,
so it's 3 minutes, arcade, Crazy Taxi. Highest
so
score
I back up because I found online that this person right here at the bottom goes to the bottom of the hill and she gives you the biggest initial payout. Chris picked her up too. It's 425. Tom picked up.
It's interesting you
like
backed up to her because I did the boost turn to her.
Now, if you watch my stream, I do this thing where I rack up a bunch of money by riding the rail. The problem with what I did was I thought that the yellows were the ones that gave you the most money instead of the greens.
Oh, instead of the greens.
So if I had picked up fucking greens instead of yellows, I have to watch my car right now. Ready, watch.
Whoa, that's what you mean by ride the rail?
Yes, that's what I was doing. I mean, look at that.
Shit, dude, are you kidding me?
No, so where I fucked up.
Yo, it's shocking you. The fact that you don't win with that huge opener.
Because I kept picking up fucking yellows instead of greens like a fucking moron.
I mean, so we all dropped off our first person now, and I'm at 710. You're at 1042, and Tom's at 802. Which I got to bring up a point because I did originally bring this up, and I was texting you guys, and I'm like, I fucking hate this game. I don't understand how you play this game.
Yeah.
I can't get better than a D in this game. Like the boost mechanic is weird. Like how are you supposed to score higher than a D in this game? And eventually I do, but the way you guys were texting me, like, get good. Oh, you got to get better at the game.
We were just fucking with you. I hadn't even gone. I knew that the game is fucking jank as fuck. And the funny thing is like, I didn't employ any. I played it like I did. I didn't know.
I know, but if I had played it like a smart person and picked up the green people, I would have won. Because I only lose to you by like $100, not even.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, Tuna.
No, it is a shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Well, it was spoilers.
The excuse I'm gonna make. The excuse I'm gonna make is that.
He just stops. He just gives up.
I was looking. No, well, the excuse I'm gonna make is that December to do the end of the year thing. I should have put more. I had a lot of shit was going on.
But that was part of the point. Was that like we have less time to do it and more tasks to do it once.
But look
so
at this.
That, like,
I'm picking up yellows like a fucking idiot. Oh my god.
You just gotta grab who you can as fast as possible.
No, but you gotta grab greens and you know it.
Well, I mean, look, I did so much better than you.
You didn't do so much better than me, though.
I did.
You didn't.
Cream to clock. Dude, when you're playing this game, the cents count. You know, every cent counts.
That's true. I mean, we're all within spitting distance of each other. There's 10 seconds left. We're gonna see the tallies in a moment.
I know, but if I had picked up the right people.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Tom's like, I've only won 3 times this year. Shut up.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I lost by $30.
Yeah,
I mean, we all got to see.
30.
I lost
by $30.
I was behind by 150 from number 1. Only 100 from you. So. I mean,
No
the nice thing about the fuck up with this is that I was able to re-edit these so that like the timing on that was like way better for where they all go.
All right, so next challenge.
So now Tom's got another win. Tom's got another win on his
I
belt.
got a win under my belts. So we all have a win under our belts now.
Yep. All right, Alex, his next challenge that he gave out.
This was a huge oversight on my part. This was
head
huge.
to head. We've got a NES World Championship. This is quick and easy. This is a.
I put no time into this, and I didn't realize that you two were going to be as good as you are. Especially.
Well, let's find out.
God, spoilers.
2,
Jesus Christ.
1, go. All right, here we go. The race is off. Now, Alex,
This is exciting.
all of us are like neck and neck. Tom and I
Tom's
are
already
following
in
a
the
similar
lead.
path, but Tom has pulled ahead a bit. Yeah, Tom's a bit ahead of me. Oh, he takes a different jump there as well. I didn't catch
does,
that. Tom
yeah.
takes a different jump. So now it's Tom in the lead, followed by me, followed by Alex. Tom does great work on those hills. Oh my God. Those hills were always the course killer for me too. I never got a run like that, Tom. Fucking, I can't believe Tom won NES World Championships.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy. What a twist. It's such.
Tom
this
got
was the,
yeah.
This
Tom
was
got
the one.
Tom got 33 seconds. Chris got 34 seconds. I got 35 seconds.
This was the one
Rounded.
that when we recorded when we first were going through all of the challenges.
Yeah,
that
before
I'm
we fucked up
most
the
upset.
recording.
Yeah, I'm most upset that we don't have because I thought this one was
couldn't
another
believe it.
wash.
I couldn't believe it, Tom.
I knew I had done a good job. I knew I was like, oh, that 33, like I'm really struggling to, like I would have runs after that felt better. And I was like, wait, how the fuck was that slower? Like, what the fuck did I do in that 33 one? And it is, I think it is the, those last like set of hills, like they can like knock you out. Like, I
Yeah,
can
but
have
you were
great
ahead.
runs.
You were ahead early.
Well,
compared to us.
I was trying to mimic the speed, the video that is like I guess doing glitch. I didn't know that it was a glitch, but I was trying to mimic how they were driving. So I don't know if I tapped into that. But yeah, so I have 2 under my belt, currently in the lead here.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, I gotta say, I did not see that coming. I thought, especially with NES World Championships, I was like, look, Tom's not winning Walkabout Mini Golf. He's not winning NES World Championships. I was like, he's probably going to win Crazy Taxi because this game is bullshit. But I did not think in any reality that you were going to win NES World Championships. And I thought I was doing terribly. So the fact that I also beat Alex on that one, like I expected Alex to come in and smoke because I couldn't get a top 10 time. I went on speedrun. I watched the speedruns. I could not get a top 10 time. I got a top 12 time.
Honestly, this is my arrogance. I just figured if I get S, I beat Tom. So that's good enough for me.
Which is surprising.
I played it like 4 or 5 times and I was like, oh, I got S. I'm good.
You and I are only 2 points apart.
Idiot.
So like this many games, you could win the whole year.
Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time. Okay. There was a lot going on. It was end of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So now the score is 11 to 9 to 5. Tom's picked up 2 points. So now we have
gaining ground on Tuna here.
We have Tom's next challenge that he gave out.
Oh, this was such a
of course.
Angry Birds. So Tom had us play what's it called? Red's First Flight.
It's Red's First Flight. It's the re-release of the original Angry Birds, yeah.
So here's the wild thing about this before I play this. It's one shot. We all use one shot to knock over these pigs, and it's all going to come down to who breaks the most stuff to get the best combo. And that's it. Like, I tried looking up runs. I think, Tom, you did as well. Maybe Alex did. There's a supposed record that is like obscenely high that no one's within even 10,000 points of, but there's no video of it. So I'm going to just call BS on that. So it was kind of like
he broke every single box. Luckily broke every box.
Yeah, it's possible. That's possible.
That's all that I can think of is that he broke every box. And you get a bonus for breaking every box.
So this is going to go fast. We're all going to hit at the same time, and our scores are going to start calculating, and highest score wins. Here we go.
Yeah, because as soon as you eliminate the pig, it's over.
Pretty similar spots, too.
That
and my
that
bird
roll,
rolls.
that roll is what gives you that. Is what
Yep.
gives you.
Tom had 5 blocks remaining. You had 4. I had 3. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I beat you by 400.
400 points away
Yeah, I
from
came
you,
last,
and
yeah.
he's So Chris got
I can't
36,924. I got 36,556, and Tom got 35,633.
This was one that I thought I'd win.
I thought I was going to win it.
I did play this for like 2 hours, but I got my best run at the beginning of it, so I wasted a lot of time for no great reason. But that puts me up at 12 points, pulling away, and we have the final of the weekly challenges, and then we have a new thing that we did. We have 3 more to go. We have a new thing that we did we're going to get to next, but the in advance recordings, we've got the final one. Going back into Walkabout mini golf, but we're not playing golf this time. We're going into the what's it called? The
8-bit lair.
The 8-bit lair
course with the arcade games.
Yep.
And you picked an arcade game with a coconut that jumps over a tiki.
Yes, and so this is an infinite runner. All we do is you lift up your hand and you hit the button on the arcade. And this is the wild thing actually about this. You're not pressing a button on the controller. There's a physical arcade machine in the 8-bit lair, and you need to use your hand that's on the golf club and just hit the button. So you have to like constantly lift up and hit the button. And if you don't have like a good, like I got my height set so that when I hit the button, my hand was resting on my leg, so I would just pick up my hand off my leg, put my hand back down on my leg. So I set that up.
That's really smart.
Which made it a lot easier to do this.
That's really smart.
So here we go.
Please tell me you sped this.
I sped it way up.
Okay.
So
basically, all it is a coconut walking to the right and jumping over a box.
And there is a coin you can pick up, but you don't get a lot from.
You don't get a lot of points for that coin.
And you go up in levels very quickly. Like we're already up to level 10. And as you go up in level, the value of your jumps and the coins like are worth more, but it doesn't get crazy.
But only at level
20.
Maxes out at 20. So it
maxes out at 20.
It's 200 per jump.
So if you look, Alex, now I have it actually all synced up correctly. So we are all playing at the same place now this time.
Right.
It's not going to reset or anything.
Right. It's funny. When I got my high score on this, I was pretty satisfied. I thought to myself, like, yeah, if somebody really wanted to take more time to do it, they could.
That was the thing with playing this, is it was just a matter of who was going to take more time.
This is the jump rope game. This is the Mario Party jump rope game.
It really is the equivalent of that.
But I will say it's like Taskmaster, and this is kind of why I like doing these challenges a lot, is I don't know how you guys have done. So
Correct.
I kind of have to gauge for myself, like, do I think the time that I got?
It's totally a mental.
It is, and what's funny is when we played...
at this point, we've all been jumping for like about 3 minutes in real time, because I have this sped up at over double speed.
Yeah. But what's funny is that when we did the Astrobot challenge, I could see there was a glitch, but I could see where you guys were.
Yeah, we had an idea.
Yeah, I had an idea. And what's funny is that I don't think I would have gotten my Astrobot score.
Oh, Tom went out. Tom went out around 14,000.
14,000. I don't think I would have gotten my Astrobot score if I wasn't pushed by seeing your score and knowing that I had to beat it.
Yes, and I was annoyed by the fact that you didn't do that game until like the last day. So like I had nothing to play against.
That was strategic.
Yeah, that sucked.
That was strategic because as soon as I saw your posts, your times, I was like, I can't play this because he's going to get more time to play.
I'll tell you right now, Alex. Oh, and Alex is out at 19,000.
I was out about 19,000. Yeah. And Chris.
And so now I'm speeding mine way up. Same thing, Alex. In my head, I was like, I'm probably far enough to keep going, but I should just keep going until I lose. Right? Yeah. And because I had that system of like, I knew where the hit was because how I had my like arm on my leg. Now I'm at 32,000. I mean, I'm over. Now I'm about to be over 20,000 higher than where you went out, which is more than double your score.
Yeah. I think you end up.
I'm going to end up with a score higher than you two combined, which is crazy because Tom went for, which I think my recording was like 9 minutes. Here we go. 45,000. Game over at 45,000. Woo! And that puts me up to 13 points. So we have 13 to 9 It's a 5. And that would have been the end. But then I came up with a new thing and I was like, guys, day of, we're going to go record and we're going to do these differently. So with these challenges, these are quick fire challenges because we don't get time ahead of time. It's announced day of, we're recording day of. And so that the person who comes up with the challenge doesn't have an advantage, they're not involved. So for my quick fire challenge, I asked these two guys to go head to head. We're going back to Goldeneye, one of the first challenges we did. I thought that one was so much fun when we raced in the facility. So I gave you guys the first stage, the dam, which is like a very quick stage. And you two are just going to play it right now. So it's just Alex versus Tom on this one. And then there's going to be one where I play Alex and then one where I play Tom. And, you know, points are applicable for that. But I sit this one out and let's see what happens.
No, let's see what happens.
So right off the bat, I'm ahead of Tom. Why? Because I am strafing. And strafing gives you faster speed. I fuck up there with the guards a little bit.
It doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
I mean, the time is going to be so close.
Fuck it up.
Oh.
He had the strafe.
The strafe, baby.
A secret that...
Now, the other thing you did, Alex, was shooting at the wall alerted the people on the other side. So that's why the door started opening before you get there, which was the thing that I had done when we played the facility level. That's how I got that faster speed, was I got them to open the doors so you could just go right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is that I had actually I watched this YouTuber named Carl Jobst, I think his name is.
Sure, yeah.
So he actually was the first person to ever get a 52 seconds on this level, and I've seen him do it.
Sick.
So
you had a little bit of an advantage going in. So Alex is through the stage. Tom is right behind him. I mean, there's not a big gap between the two of you.
I got 59 seconds.
59 seconds is a good time. 59 seconds, good time.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, we're doing this again at some point.
I didn't know about the strafe.
The strafe would have helped you. Tom got a 109.
109. 109.
I might have even, yeah.
I did think about putting it on like the next difficulty up so that you had to do something, because then it's like you're only going to do like 2 runs or 3 runs at most.
20 minutes to do it.
We didn't even have 20.
Yeah, we didn't even. But that being said, it took a minute.
No,
so,
it was good. It was good. It was good.
If it took like 2 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
glad.
So then after that, I had you two battle each other in the Pokemon trading card game Pocket game for iOS. And Chris admittedly hadn't played it recently.
Oh, yeah.
Chris went with the Pikachu EX deck.
So I don't play the trading card game really. I just collect the cards. I don't really care for it. I think it's fun. I think it takes way too long. Is the problem?
It's like a minute.
No, the matches don't take a minute. The matches can take 10 minutes.
No.
I think our match took 8 minutes.
All right. Well, Chris went with the Pikachu EX deck. Tom went with a Celebi EX deck.
And I didn't pull my Pikachu
He's got the
draw.
Pidgey in there. I don't know what the hell the Pidgey's doing in there anyway.
The Pidgey. Pidgey's the anchor of the whole fucking build,
get rid of that. No, you don't need the Pidge. So Chris is getting his Pikachu. Chris wants his Pikachu EX with a whole bunch of benched electric Pokemon so he can deal 90 damage in one blow. Tom is trying to get what is his name? Superior.
Yeah, Superior.
Out on the field so that Leaf energy Pokemon, the amount of energy they have is doubled. And Celebi's attack is based on how many Leaf energies is attached to it. So as soon as Tom gets his in play,
for every heads that for every Leaf energy, I flip a coin.
Tom pulls a Pidge out.
That Superior move is incredible. I'd never seen that. I'd never seen Celebi because I hadn't played against either of those. Are those both new cards?
Yes.
Yeah, they're both in the Mythical Island deck.
I hadn't
Chris
seen
is up
that.
2 points.
Actually, I think I've only opened like 2 packs from that deck.
Tom luckily pulls out that Superior. If he did not pull that out, game was probably over.
Yeah, so just took out his Pikachu EX there.
But you see now, Tom, this is what I'm talking about. Your Pidgeot EX is just a waste now.
Yeah,
Same with your Executor. Wastes.
So,
what's wrong with that?
You rock Snivy and Celebi only, and everything else is okay.
Everything else is support cards and potions and anything to get the deck to draw them out. Get that shit out.
I say. Are there enough of those?
Yeah,
I guess
there's 20 cards in a deck.
Question.
There's only 20 cards in a deck, so hit
it's
yourself with 2 Sabrinas, 2 Ericas,
2 professors.
Yeah, 2 professors, 2 Pokeballs,
2 Pokeballs. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. And this is the deck that you run, and Tom wins.
I run both the decks that you guys are using now.
Tom
Pikachu
doubling his points on the finale night. I mean, Tom said we should have a gauntlet at the end of this year, and he showed up for the gauntlet.
Yeah,
Tom showed up for the
gauntlet. The next challenge that we're about to show. Okay. I was thinking about this one a lot and how badly I mean, look, I don't care about spoiling it. I botched the fuck out of this choice. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know why I did this. Tom
I was so happy you did.
Back to the first challenge, and it's Nickelodeon Brawl Stars 1v1. Chris went with a character that he had played with before. I went with Rocksteady, a character I've never played with before. And
neither of us remember the buttons. Because he's big.
I don't know. I thought he was a big boy and he was going to be like DK or like King K. Rool, and I was going to be able to just knock him off the stage, but that's not the way Nickelodeon Brawl Stars works.
I'm going to reveal something to you that Alex is going to hate. So, as we're picking characters, I just Googled Nicktoons Brawl 2 tier list, and Rocksteady was on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's on the shit tier. And Mr. Krabs was on the top, and I was like, all right, maybe I'm going to pick Mr. Krabs, right? And then you go, oh no, I'm picking Rocksteady. And I was like, oh, then I'm just going to use someone that I played with before. Fuck it. If he's using a character that everyone says is the worst character in the game, then I'm not going to try and use someone I don't know.
And it was just so... it's amazing how the control, like, it's just not...
It's not
Smash Bros.
It's not even anywhere close.
It's nowhere close to Smash Bros.
No game has come close. None of them.
Like, Smash Bros. Just feels like, and you can pick Smash Bros. Up and it just like, it feels amazing. It's just
they all have a clunky movement. They're all like kind of hard to like. I don't know what's wrong with them, that their movement systems aren't good. And they're all trying to do something different with the buttons. Like, just follow the fucking, just do the same thing with the buttons.
Right. And use your character IP to hold the game.
Just do it. I don't understand why no one's come close. None of them have been, like, this was fun for a little bit, but like.
Yeah. No, but you're right. It's clunky movements. It's not smooth. The movements.
It's not.
And that affects the game. It just
final smash on you.
So this is a 3-stock match. Chris fucked up twice.
Yeah, that's right. I self-destructed twice. That's right.
Chris killed himself twice, and I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing here.
You do well here though, because so you're basically ready to be knocked off. Your health is at red already, and then you start just spamming these ranged attacks.
Yeah.
And I also got hurt by this item. So now you're like catching me up, because you're in for a heavy guy. You possibly could hit me off or soon. So you get me up to the darker orange. Now I'm at 75 and you're at 140.
Yeah. And then
I mean, you get me almost up to 100.
I thought that was it, and I became big, and I thought that was going to be it too.
Dude, when you got big, I was like, oh, you're fucking lose.
But then his moves don't do anything.
And I was nervous because, keep in mind, this was before we saw any results, Tuna. So I'm like, we're only 2 points apart. Alex is going to win Excite Bike. Alex is going to win the race. Like, this could be the tie-breaking game. But it wasn't. Final scores, 14 points for me, 10 points for Tuna, 6 points for Tom, and the first ever and reigning champion is King of Games. It's myself, Chooms.
All right, so before we get out of here, what are we doing for this season?
For this season, well, this season it's going to be different. We're gonna take a little bit. We take a couple weeks off before we start it, so we can actually get it all up and running. But we've got a whole new theme for it. It's going to be shorter. We're going to do 2 seasons during the year instead of 1, so it's not going to run the length of the year, which is good, because then if the scores start to get out of hand, no one will be able to just run away with it for a whole year. It's more going to run for 5 months, so there'll be a break in between as well. And we're going to have some new stuff in it. We're going to have advantages and disadvantages through a card system, kind of influenced by Survivor. And we're going to have more of those quick fire challenges that we do like day of challenges that aren't far in advance. So there's going to be stuff like that that will keep it. It's going to change it up and I think smoothen it out. I expect it to be a much more competitive all around season than this one was. I think Tom is going to be in a much better position in this second version of it. So I think that will also make it a lot more fun. So yeah, so you have that to look forward to. Along with gaming in 2025, we probably have a GTA game coming. Who knows? We have the Nintendo Switch 2. We have Elden Ring co-op. I mean, there's a lot of good shit coming this year. So I hope you're here for it. You stay tuned. You check it out. You enjoy it. You watch. You let us know. But yeah, look forward to the next season of our head-to-head challenges, which we're going to be calling Outranked, where we're going to outplay, outscore, and outmatch one another. But until next time, stay unranked.
Tom?
Oh, yeah, second. 2024. Second.